like a mule.
God damn. I mixed it with tests. I was taking trend tests at the same time.
You have to, otherwise you ain't gonna be doing anything.
No. My wife would lay on me and be like, I don't like this. You're not fucking comfortable. You're hard. I'm like, that's the fucking point. Let me see if I got my... Here, hold
Bro,
on.
that...
Find my test and trend picture.
Yeah, I've never taken
Where's your plant-based?
the real stuff, man.
Plant-based.
I've done pro hormones. That is it.
How did that work out for you?
I don't know. I could tell a difference on this
Yeah.
on this last one, but it was also as I was switching my diet.
That made a huge difference.
Yeah,
Your strength went up like...
I think it has. I'm kind of fucking up my shoulder again.
Like my before and after.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Were you dieting there as well?
No, I was just fucking working out every day, taking tests and trend.
Were you working out in the picture before?
No.
Yeah, not really.
So you started working out, taking test and trend.
It was like hit or miss. Like I went to the gym every once in a while, but that was like my...
And that was a year and a half. That's about right. Because if you would have dieted, you could have done that in about 6 months.
Yeah, I fucking just ate well on them.
Yeah, I'm not... No, that's awesome.
No,
But
strong.
people underestimate a diet, man. You know what I mean?
100%.
I feel very differently about.
I went vegan. No, I did diet before that because I was vegan for about 2 fucking months.
Yeah.
I consider that my fucking diet. The only thing I had was regular protein. I didn't get vegan protein,
Right.
but I mixed it with water.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was just fucking apples, peanut butter, bullshit that I fucking hated.
That was right before that picture, though.
That was right before that picture.
So towards the end, I guess.
It leans you out, man.
Oh, yeah. But like I said, I can imagine what it would have been or how much bigger I would have gotten if I ate meat and protein the way I was supposed to. If I was getting at least 250 grams, I think I weighed 185, so it's almost 2 grams per pound,
That's more than enough.
I guess.
No, that's more than enough.
How much were you getting on the vegan? 250 on a
No,
vegan
no,
diet?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
vegan diet.
No.
A vegan diet, I was barely getting 150 if that. It was all shakes.
Yeah.
I was eating broccoli and
Yeah.
fucking apples and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Just peanut butter every fucking day.
Yeah. I told your brother this the other day because he said one of his buddies is interested in going vegan, but he also is trying to get big into the gym. And dude, I would do this, man. You're gonna spill that beer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say pick that mic up over there,
Yeah.
but
You can buy another one for $5 at Dollar General.
well, no, not the mic or the fucking
The
beer.
mic.
Dude.
He's
Jesus
fucking with
Christ,
you.
yeah.
He's fucking
I
with
know.
you.
Cheap shit.
Don't
Yeah.
let...
All right. Well, like I said, let's
He's
go
about-
to your studio, you son of a bitch. Go chill out with your mother-in-law at your studio.
Oh, he played that card.
I need some aloe vera. Some aloe vera for the fucking burn.
Yeah. But no, I realized. So your brother has a buddy that wants to go vegan, but he also wants to get big into weightlifting, right? And he was basically, and he watched a few documentaries. That's why he's on this train now. Not your brother, his friend.
Right.
And I was telling him, man, I've done it, and I know how to do it and how to do it well. I didn't optimize the diet for myself. I kept eating basically more and more carbs and not realizing I just wasn't getting enough protein, period. I just wasn't eating the right things. I loved fruit and veggies, and veggies have barely any calories. And I was just crushing fruit and still working out pretty hard, especially at first. And you just can't retain muscle if you're not taking in enough protein, or you especially can't get new muscle.
It's literally just powder and peanut butter, man,
Yeah.
and nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually...
And beans.
And beans, but you're getting so much fat out of the peanut butter.
Yeah.
It's not just peanut butter, man. It's the fiber from these plant-based, I guess you can call protein sources, even though like beans, you get protein, carbs.
They fill you up faster too. So it's hard to eat a lot of beans.
Right.
They say those hemp hearts have a decent amount of protein in them.
do.
I've never found them. I don't know.
I have them here, but
there's only so much tofu you can eat, right?
Yeah.
oh, I love tofu, man. It's got a ton of protein.
I'm
I didn't
hit-
eat
I'm
enough
hit or miss
tofu.
on that shit.
What's up?
I'm hit or miss on the tofu.
I didn't eat like even a block of tofu. Like I could eat a block of tofu a night by myself. It still wasn't a ton of protein, man. Like compared,
wasn't?
Well, not compared to what I need for the day.
The volume would have been like ridiculous.
I would have had to have eaten a few blocks of tofu. I mean, it's pretty protein heavy as far as vegan foods go, but it's just you have to be on your shit, and likely you're gonna have to do what Trey did and supplement a lot,
right,
to get that protein content. It's not that plants don't have protein,
right?
It's that plants fill you up faster, and it is just so hard to eat that amount of protein with plants.
And then alongside with that is all the fiber, and as our buddy Johnny Rosari, went on his. I mean, he's a professional bodybuilder. Well, he's close. He will be a pro one day.
Yeah, but
he tried the vegan thing, and in his argument, I mean, he was getting the adequate amount of protein he needed, but
was he having digestive issues?
it was digestion from all the fiber. He said he literally couldn't take a normal shit.
Yeah.
No.
For like 3 months.
Yeah.
And he said he had to change it up. So he kind of did what you're doing now, just adding some seafood, and that's where he started. And, now that he's back, I guess, a full-time, bodybuilding maniac, eating the steaks and the chicken and the, the eggs and the egg whites and all that other stuff. I mean, he's stronger than ever now.
He probably still gets in a good bit of veggies.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
He probably has a different view on it. But for his goals, man, to be a competitive bodybuilder, to eat that much protein, meat is just it's more concentrated. It's just easier, man.
Direct protein.
You can get 100 grams of protein, of tuna in the size of a 6x6.
Well, it's a
square.
pound. A pound of tuna, is.
Well, I'm saying maybe that's not a good estimation because you don't want to take in 100 grams in one sitting. But the point is, it's just more concentrated.
Right. You break that up into 2 meals, which is, I guess, a typical bodybuilding diet for a dude, especially a dude over 200 pounds.
40 or 50 grams
40 to
per
50
meal.
Grams per meal. That's 16 ounces of tuna versus. I don't even know what a tofu block looks like, but I can only imagine you would have to.
Well, it may be 30 or 40 grams of protein, but it's just a lot. It's a lot of substance. Whereas you get this little tuna steak that's 40 grams, and it's a few bites.
You know what's a good source of casein protein? Y'all ever eaten that cottage
cheese? Yep.
You ever put salsa on it?
Salsa?
Salsa.
Dude, you are out of your mind.
Try it one day. It's delicious.
Oh my God, that's
salsa,
terrible.
like a spoonful of salsa, stir it in, just eat it.
Most people can't even eat cottage cheese because of the taste.
I know, but the salsa fucking changes everything.
That's crazy. What I used to do is at night for like a sweet tooth. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. I wasn't, into the competing stage, but just I've always eaten. For about the last 7 years at least. Mm-hmm. Been on a somewhat strict bodybuilding diet. But at nighttime, I used to do cottage cheese, protein powder, and peanut butter. And it was like, but that cottage cheese fills you up, dude, because it's does it have fat in it?
Yeah. It's milk.
Yeah,
cheese,
so it's like...
Or milk, cheese, I don't know. It's
so
just disgusting.
Right.
Dude, I promise y'all,
disgusting.
You put some salsa in it, it changes the whole
Well, I guarantee
taste.
Kyle will never eat that.
Yeah,
probably the rest of his life.
I don't eat
but
cheese.
Let's go back to what you were talking about.
With Garner's buddy, he he wants to do the vegan thing, but he also wants to work out. But he eats shitty now. Like my advice always, I never tried to convert people. I would just tell people stop eating shitty.
It's dirty bulking, man.
Yeah. Well, no, this kid isn't working out.
At this point, he doesn't know what that is.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's dirty bulking without exercising.
Right.
Yeah, he's just like a regular human, just bulking because he can eat.
Right.
He's doing the American diet.
Yeah, he's on that American diet. But I always tell people cut out or limit, fast food, junk food, processed food, anything in a box and a bag, basically, and fried food. If you
Barbies don't make Barbies, man.
Right. If you eliminate those things and then make sure you get plenty of fruits and veggies, lean meats, nuts and beans. Those are kind of my categories.
And there's multiple ways to do it. You probably have a healthier way of going about it.
Well, no, you do something similar.
I do. I don't get my greens like that. I don't get my fruits, but I do get my carbs. I do get, the basic macronutrients.
You get the macros, not the micros are important, man. That's what a lot of people
they
don't
are,
realize.
Absolutely. There's a lot of health benefits to the micros.
It's not going to make you jacked, but it's going to help you
improve
overall
digestion.
health-wise. Yeah.
Talking about macros and all that. People don't realize how fucking hard that shit is.
Well,
Counting
people
macros.
overthink it too.
They overthink it, but they see the people in the magazines and a certain body, but they don't realize that fucking person looks like that for maybe 3 days.
Well,
It's like they have to eat 5,000 calories a day to gain, and when they get ready to do the one little photo shoot, they drop down to 1,500
deplete
Right.
everything.
to send their body into fucking shock to look like that and take a picture.
Yeah, it's like getting in fighting shape.
well, they're getting
It's
paid to
fucking
do
cra-
that.
Oh, they're getting paid.
They have an
And they're working
incentive,
hard for that shit, man.
Yeah.
That shit is not easy. I used to have to lose 20 pounds in a fucking week and a half span.
And the difference in, somebody that's been there and done that long enough, whether it's a professional bodybuilder or an underwear model or something like that, once you get down to that very low, like sub, 8%
It's
body fat.
easier to maintain.
It's easier to maintain.
Yeah.
The older you get, the longer you've been doing it, the more mature muscle you have, and I guess the more anabolic you become.
It's just it's easier if you've had any sort of athletic build to get back to that.
Right. People want a quick fix, A lot of people, they start dieting. They get, like you said, they get caught up in the macros and the micros. And at the end of the day, it's like Kai said, cleaning up your diet, training hard, which is another thing that kids don't do now. They don't they stop short, 3 or 4 reps, or they do this crazy, off the chart thing that
Overworks their muscles.
Well, it's just new stuff that is not. It looks pretty, but whenever you look at the old school guys, and I'm talking strictly bodybuilding now, but if you look at the old school guys
They're not fucking ripped, man.
John Meadows and those guys that are just, they train their asses off. They train heavy. They weren't picking up little weights and.
To change the shape of your body, man, it's all about
how much stress you put on it.
Well, it's genetics too, man. Genetics play a big fucking part because you got to understand what your body type is. If you're exomorph, mesomorph, a combination of both.
Most people, though, I feel like they don't even need to think that much about it.
No.
It's core lifts. It is
Fucking
benching,
deadlifts.
rowing, squatting, deadlifting,
Deadlifting.
overhead press. It's hard ass lifts that put a lot of stress on your muscle.
And that puts a whole body into it.
They stimulate growth.
Right, because if you look at some of the best bodybuilders in the world, they started doing what, Kai? Before they even got into it,
Powerlifting.
They started powerlifting, So they've got this mature, dense muscle tissue.
It is just, I used to talk to clients about this, and I'm sure you do too, or you may. I would sit down in a consultation and talk about, dude, your computer is about to take fucking flight. Sounds like a rocket ship.
It is. One's called an alien.
Yeah. I would, that's a good topic. We'll get back to that. But I would tell people, think about early humans, like, fucking nomads, hunter-gatherers, and how much activity they had to sustain to find food to live. And now, in our current society, exercise, actually physical activity in general, is an option. You can work from home. You can order food from home.
Right.
You don't have to leave your fucking house to have all the comforts of the 21st century.
You can even order your groceries.
We're
from
basically
home.
turning into that fucking
Yeah.
Wall-E.
Yeah.
You remember Wall-E? You ever seen that Disney cartoon?
Yeah.
That's what the fucking turning into.
Yeah, it's that's a great analogy because they don't even walk anymore. They just move around, hover around in robot chairs. But that's what I would try to explain. I'm like, you're coming into the gym today. You're talking to me, and you want to, look better, feel better, all the above. But it really is, it is changing your brain to want to like physical activity. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't done it to this point, that's the hardest part. It's making that mental
connection.
Well, yeah, and just the switch from like enjoying the pain and the suffering of working out. Because most people just, a good way to change your behavior is to tie it to disgust. And I do that with food. Some people do that with exercise. They hate the way they fucking feel when they are sweating and huffing and puffing. It's not pleasant. Like for me, I'm like, it's a goal in my mind. I'm like, I have to finish this fucking mile in a certain time, or I have to, if I get under, I don't like getting a spot a lot of times on heavy weight because it makes me think you better fucking get this or else it's coming down on you, So a lot of times, unless it's just something I want to try on a whim for a couple reps, I will get underweight that I know is pretty heavy for me, but it's just, I have to fucking get it.
What was that thing you said that somebody told you a while back? It's like, if you like the way you look, you gave up.
If you like the way you look, keep sitting there. I stole that.
Yeah, I remember you said
from
you stole
Rob.
Rob.
From Rob Stamey.
Oh my God.
That's one of the best ones, dude.
It is. Like, I think about this shit. If you like the way you look now, you gave up.
Something that he told me before was, pay attention, like, don't worry about the scale so much.
Yeah.
It's it's all about what you look like in the mirror.
Right.
The mirror will tell you everything you need to know is what he told me.
I asked him this
you
too.
look strong.
Yeah. I said, Rob, I said, what do you bench? And he's like, what does it look like?
Yeah, I remember
And
you
I was
telling
like,
me that.
I don't know, close to 400. He's like, all right.
Yeah.
And he couldn't, 400 would crush him. He didn't train for strength.
Right.
He could probably do 315 just because he was a big, strong dude. But he really, for his frame, he held a ton of muscle, man. His waist was fucking tiny for his frame, for his shoulders. But anyway,
going back to genetics, it plays a pretty, but a lot of people look at genetics and they automatically assume steroids or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at Rob's brother, I mean, he was built like Rob. I mean, they have good genetics, but also good genetics doesn't mean shit if you don't work hard. You know what I'm saying? If you want to achieve something, you have to go through pain and suffering. It's like anything, if you want to be a doctor, you've got to put your time in. You've got to do those 8 years of school. You got to go through clinicals.
But you got to know what your body's capable of at the same time. Like our powerlifting, I was 180 pounds in high school, and they had me squatting 475. I was deadlifting 510.
Yeah.
My fucking knees hurt. My back
well,
hurts.
of course, but most people starting at the gym, they like Kyle was talking about that kid that was talking to my brother, like they're not just going to go and put all, well, if they do put that on the bar, they're going to regret it, or they're just not going to be able. But being on a team and somebody to show that to you, and you actually being able to lift it correctly, that's gonna take a toll on your body later in life.
Oh man, I feel it to this day.
And that's probably one of the reasons why Rob didn't train that way.
Well, a couple things, man. If you think about someone that is naturally fit, they're also going to be more inclined to get in the gym. And someone that is naturally fluffy, they probably, if they think, oh, I suck at that thing, they're going to be a lot less likely to pursue
That's
it.
right.
Well, the way I viewed it is,
If you suck at something, you do it over and over again until you get good at it. Like at work right now, if I've got a unit that's hard for me to do, every time that unit comes out, I pick it up and I do it.
yeah,
Now I'm fucking great at it.
it's a good mentality. It's I got two things I want to say. One of them is my mentality when I was fluffy was I saw people in shape and I was like, I want to be like that.
Right.
And that was my motivation. I'm like, I don't want to be a soft piece of shit anymore, like I was when I met Trey.
Oh God, you were fat.
Yeah, I was fluffy. Like I competed in sports, but I ate like grandma fed me whatever I wanted to eat.
You look
Like
like you're gonna have a heart attack at 13.
It wasn't
Damn,
that
was
bad,
that-
dude.
I was
Trey
about
is
to say.
fucking exaggerating.
He's like 5 beers in. So.
yeah, he is. But no, I obviously I wasn't happy with it. But
Almost.
7.
7 what?
I said 5 beers in. I looked, I counted that one. Thought about the one that threw away, and I was like about 7.
Oh, okay.
7. Okay,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
You're in there deep.
But
Oh, not yet.
But yeah, that the psychology to, to have that initial step to want to do something that you're
Right.
not naturally good at, that's a big ask. That's fucking
right.
hard. Like we went to school with people that they were a freak of nature from elementary on. Like there's the Quick family, like
Oh my
every
God.
one of them.
Genetic monster. Like their daddy had a sled out in the backyard
Yeah.
with fucking weights on it. And when they were crawling in their fucking Pampers, they were dragging their sled.
So some of it might have been a little bit of nurture, but there was certainly some nature there. He was a freak too.
That's kind of like our buddy Luke. His dad.
Oh, yeah.
He making him do shit out in the yard.
There's certainly something to that, dude.
They made me chase Kai for my 40 time.
What do you mean?
You remember when I had to chase you to get my 40 time? When I ran that, what was it, like a 4.5?
Yeah, 4.56, and Jesse Showers ran a 4.54.
And I still could run faster.
Well,
Yeah, Trey was really fast. Trey was a fast white boy, and they put him at defensive end. I was
smoked that quarterback. I
I'm
was all
learning
district.
I'm learning a lot about Trey. So
yeah. He was an athlete in his prime. He has an MMA fight too on his record.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So you're like the All-American,
Yeah.
like.
And I'm reduced to having kids and
Yeah.
drinking natural light now. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you're like the guy that nobody wants to fuck with. Like you wouldn't look at, but you've been through some shit. I mean,
if he was in better shape, he would really be someone you don't want to fuck with.
I mean, I have my moments. Like every 2 years it comes out.
Yeah. He's still, he goes in these spurts. So if he gets in really good shape and then goes back down, I feel like Matt's
I'm like the
doing
stock
that
market.
But there's a difference in like Trey just knows how to fight. And when
Right.
you know how to fight, that's a huge advantage. He doesn't have the cardio he used to have or the strength.
I also have fast twitch muscle fiber.
Yeah, so that's
I'm
an
good for
advantage too.
A
yeah.
boost.
Yeah.
right.
Then it goes away.
Yeah, he can do 60 seconds of fucking a
I'm
bar
sure you-
fight. It'd be nasty.
Oh man, I'm hell for 60 seconds.
But if
after,
someone,
like,
I'm
65 seconds, I'm not gonna make
if
it.
someone
Is
has
your wife listening to this?
Probably.
You think she will?
Probably not. She
Yeah.
don't
So
care
you're-
about this shit.
60 seconds.
yeah,
That is not
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I fucking wish it was
Yeah,
60
yeah.
seconds. I'm like a fucking 30 minutes to an hour. And to the point I get goddamn tired. I'm like, I'm done. We'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's miserable, man. It's like a blessing and a curse.
But no, Trey, I don't know. And now he has injuries, so that's just something like it hurts for him to try to get back in good shape. It
Right.
does for me too.
Like,
I think he's a little more.
My doctor
beat up
wants me to
than
go
I
see a
am.
rheumatologist.
Yeah.
Like my fucking
Jesus.
hands hurt, my feet hurt, shoulders, knees.
Well, he's got the gout.
I got gout.
He get it
Oh my
gout.
God. That's like something that old people
Yeah,
get.
I know. Genetics.
Yeah.
High cholesterol. When I'm on a fucking diet,
Yeah,
I get high cholesterol and my blood work
pressure.
going.
Jesus.
High blood pressure.
Testosterone's still in the 500s.
That's good.
Yeah. Is that your free test or your?
My free
Dude,
test.
That's not bad, man.
Guess what my free test is?
What?
Take a guess.
2?
What would you? That's what I'm saying. What would you expect it to be?
300.
It's in the 700 range.
Jesus.
Really?
Yes.
You ought to be fucking like a rhinoceros.
It was like 750, I don't have that.
Dude, that's like my steroid test.
I don't have the natural, aggression, the anger. I don't know what it is. My test
Dude,
is
I'm in a
actually
better mood when mine's up.
Yeah.
Of course.
Steroids are like the best fucking thing ever.
My last testosterone check was like 754, and 800 is the top rank. Like if you're over 800, you're a freak. Yeah.
I thought 8 to 1,000 is like recommend. Well, is like the
normal
top tier.
Normal is 200 to 800. So if you're over,
that's free test. Mm-hmm. Your free test is
754.
Yeah, that's
wow,
crazy.
Yeah,
that is insane.
Yeah,
that's like my not free test, like 700.
Jesus, I know.
But it doesn't. It's not. I don't feel it. You know what I mean? Like I feel normal. I don't feel. I don't have the energy.
Dude, that's a fucking awesome.
Of a high test.
You'd think you'd be more ripped.
I know.
If only you ate steak.
Give me time. No, dude, I'm getting more and more ripped every day on the Segan diet.
So you had 2 points you were gonna bring up. And I was going to go off your first point, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
What was your first point?
We were talking about psychology of exercise. I mean, I kind of already made that point. It's difficult it happens every year at a gym, right? At the beginning of the year, January 1st, everyone wants to change their fucking life.
Oh, I know where I was going to go with that.
And then after a few months, that's a great time to sell memberships. And then the gym survives off of that surge the rest of the year.
Right.
But
get a new floor.
It is. Oh, okay. I thought about this. The point you made about doing hard things, it's not natural. And it goes into the human reward system, or just, I guess, an animal reward system of if you wait for something or do something hard now, getting a better reward on the back end. So I guess it's two things, like waiting for that reward or doing something hard for that reward. Like there's an example is the marshmallow test that they do with kids. So, they say, if you don't eat this marshmallow for 5 minutes, we'll give you 2 marshmallows, Some kids have no impulse control.
Right.
And they can't do it. Or they'll make it 10 minutes or 15 and they'll keep, or half an hour. Can a kid sit and stare at a marshmallow for half an hour? Some can. You'd be surprised. And then they'll get 2 or 3, like the longer they wait. So it's kind of reshaping. Some of it's an evolutionary drive of, well, I need to get the reward now because I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I could be dead. I could get in a car wreck.
Yeah. It's
hard to kind of keep that long-term goal in mind. But the way to do it is to set up short-term systems, to coax you into those activities, or to change the way you frame things, like I've done with food.
Right.
Like certain foods, when I think about Popeyes, McDonald's, anything in that vein, I think about heart disease. I think about heart attack, stroke. I think about an early death. And that's how, I literally feel if I bit into a Big Mac, my arteries are hardening. And it doesn't happen that fast, but that's my thought. I'm like, I'm slowing down my blood flow with all this fucking grease I could squeeze out of this thing.
So the whole idea is changing your perspective. Like you said earlier about you didn't want to be a fat piece of shit anymore.
Yeah.
Whenever I first met you at the courthouse, I would see all these, we had a group of bodybuilders that would come in.
Yeah.
Just local bodybuilders, but I liked the way they looked, so I started asking questions. I guess kind of like this kid asked my brother. Well, I started questioning them and asked them, and it's kind of crazy because, they started telling me, they eat this many times a day.
Yeah.
They, this is their diet. It was all kind of relatively similar.
This is their workout.
But, I knew,
work,
they made, I didn't know until, I kind of changed that. And I was like, I want to look like that. And that's, for 7 years, I guess there's never an end game for it. You don't have to be a bodybuilder or anything close if you want to look good. You know what I mean? And, a lot of people aren't willing to even give it a try or give up too quick whenever they don't see those results.
Well, yeah.
And they won't change their perspective like you're talking about with the food. You know, I haven't always been like that. You know, I used to love McDonald's.
Yeah.
I used to go to McDonald's every day in high school.
Hey, we all did.
Didn't think about it, right? But then I saw the way that genetically some people can do it. I couldn't do it, and I was only getting, you know, fatter and fatter. And you know, and then you start doing research and you hear all these things about these different restaurants, and I won't take it, you know, if I've been into a Big Mac, I wouldn't be thinking what Kai's thinking to that extent, but I know it's not good for me. And it's just, you know, with new research and everything, they're just putting so much junk. You really don't know what you're getting in these foods.
And what's crazy is people go to restaurants, eat these fucking salads and shit. And sometimes these salads are worse than a fucking Big Mac.
That is one of my pet peeves is like my clients telling, well, I skipped breakfast and I've been eating more salads.
So you fucked your metabolism.
So yeah, and you know, there's multiple ways now with science that you can go about losing weight or gaining muscle. By the way, I don't recommend if you want to build muscle to skip breakfast, but that's just my 2 cents.
Oh, you're right.
But as far as weight loss, there's multiple ways. But you know, a salad with, you know, olive oil and vinegar and chicken and, you know, no cheese and, you know, good vegetables.
Well, it's the cheese, the bacon, the ranch.
The ranch, bro.
Well, it's not even all that. When it comes to a diet, though, it's calories in, calories out. Like literally, when you're working out, you need to eat more calories, build your body up, get it used to that, and when it's time to fucking diet, cut the shit down. So
there is something to the calories in, calories out, but it's more complicated.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah,
it's what are these calories made of? I mean, because you can easily eat a block of cheese a day and a thing of yogurt
cream cheese,
and call
man.
it and you're in a deficit. But at the same time, are you putting the right amount
or the right thing?
Well, I think even with me on my vegan diet, I was eating so much sugar. I was getting a ton of calories, but it was mostly sugar.
Well, see, I use peanut butter for my calories too when I was doing the vegan shit, but
it's got a
you
lot
gotta
of fat
watch how much
too.
fat you're getting. Yeah.
And it you know, there even natural sugar. The brand I like is the Jif Natural. It still has added sugar.
I get peanut butter.
grams.
I'm very diligent about buying things without added sugar.
Exactly.
Like my peanut, which I'm not even doing peanut butter now. I'm getting a little more strict on that. I've cut out chips, you know, but anything if it says added sugar, or if it's, you know, anything more than a couple grams, I don't get it. Like some of the frozen meals, which I probably need to get away from those, but I try to get the ones with lower sugar.
Yeah, I used to eat those for lunch.
Yeah.
By the way, fuck you, because I've been on a hiatus and I've been eating Jimmy Dean.
Whatever, dude.
Turkey, sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffins, but
do what you do, man.
I love turkey
just
sausage.
because it's quick and easy, and I'm not really in it 100% like it. But I kind of got that. And also, you know, that brings up a good point, and I may be going off topic, but the people that you are around, I lived with Kai for a little bit, and he would eat these frozen healthy meals, but they weren't as healthy as getting whole food meals that you cook yourself. Yeah. So a lot of it, you know, if you really want to achieve that certain look, you've got to forget about what everybody else in your family is eating, and you gotta, you know, sometimes skip out on if your buddies are going out drinking beer. I mean, every once in a while.
Drink it no matter what.
Well, you know what I'm saying. You have to make some sacrifices if you want to see change.
Yeah.
Well, it's
100%.
like I said,
it's fucking hard.
It's hard, man. People get comfortable. A lot of people just have hard lives. They work long hours. Mm-hmm. They have children.
Right.
You know, maybe their relationship at home isn't the best, you know, and they get home and they don't want to think about extra activity. They've used most of their energy on just fueling their brain all day.
Right. From their jobs. Yeah, they don't eat. They're starving. I mean,
or they're eating shit.
They're eating
what they can
shit
find
behind a desk
all
day.
Time out.
We're not talking about you.
No, I got a
talking about
special
you.
fucking keto-friendly meal that is goddamn delicious. Now we're talking about food.
What's that?
Get hamburger meat.
All
Oh
right.
my
Fucking
God.
cream cheese. Put some ranch seasoning in there for some flavor. Put it in the bottom of a bacon dish. Put damn cauliflower rice.
Yeah.
Some like whatever kind of fucking not Alfredo sauce.
Pesto.
Fucking marinara you can find that doesn't have a lot of sugar in
No
it.
sugar.
Put it on
added.
top. Sprinkle some cheese on top of it.
Okay,
It's like,
he may be giving you guys heart attacks.
dude, it's a fucking keto lasagna. Like the cream cheese is gonna kill you definitely,
Yeah.
but it tastes great
Yeah.
and has few carbs.
I don't know.
That's a whole nother topic, the keto thing, man.
Oh man, it's stupid as hell because you're gonna gain it right back as soon as you get off of it. But
Well, Matt is back on the carnivore thing, and
so he's on like high cholesterol keto.
yeah, high
Yeah,
cholesterol.
there. You know, he may lose weight from that, but at the same time, are his arteries and his heart going to appreciate him for it?
He's not concerned about that. Yeah.
Right. He's concerned about
Get that red meat.
a certain look. You know, I
Well,
guess.
I'm saying so. Most people aren't even. It's not even that he's probably not concerned about it. They just.
he doesn't.
Well, no, you're focused on how you look and how you feel.
Right.
You're not thinking about the health of your arteries.
Right. Exactly.
It's not in. People want to lose weight. They want that the scale number to go down, and they want
That's
to feel
right.
better. And he feels a lot better on the carnivore shit. A lot of people say they do. They say they have high energy. They get stronger. He got pretty strong the last time he did it, pretty seriously. Like his snack during the day was pork rind. Like it's still just
Also keto friendly, high in sodium.
yeah, a lot of sodium.
No MSGs, no
Sure.
preservative.
But anyway, he
Yeah, you crush them up and use them as like a breading for shit.
yeah, he's back on the carnivore shit. I mean, a lot of people do it. I think that it's a little extreme, but there are
I can't do it.
there's certain autoimmune conditions where in some cases it's beneficial, like people get benefits from it. But I always go back to the artery health and
Right.
you know,
You're taking more of a scientific approach. Well, I guess it's all science, but more of a long term.
I just think about I want to gain muscle, but not at the expense of my heart.
Right.
If I can
Well,
help
see,
it.
I'm genetically, I should just be a vegan. Because I've been on blood pressure medicine since I was fucking 20 and I was healthy. I fucking ran, lifted, worked out. I feel like I didn't eat too fucking terribly. My blood pressure's through the fucking roof.
Well, some of it is genetic. I think you may benefit from doing some, or maybe kind of what I'm doing.
And that's another thing that you have to address if you, in my case, if I have a client who's wanting to, lose weight, because at the end of the day, they're all high protein diets, right? But if you have a history of heart disease in your family, if you're prone to getting that, then you don't need to be on the same diet somebody else is on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's like I
saying?
said, it's all understanding your fucking body.
Yeah, and some things work for some people that may not work for others.
Well, I think about this like on the medical side, the race of the person actually matters to like their risk of certain diseases. That's just the
science.
case. It's genetics, but I sometimes I counter that a little bit because I say, well, this person likely eats what their parents ate, so what is their diet like?
Right.
And typically, lower socioeconomic families eat worse food because it's cheap.
Cheaper.
Oh yeah.
And if you do that, and it, especially in the South, culturally, a lot of fried foods, if you do that generation to generation, maybe that's also a fact. I don't know if that's been teased out in nutrition studies, but like when I'm doing a cardiac risk score for a patient, if they're African American, their score automatically goes up a few points. Their risk of heart attack and stroke, just by clicking the button and saying this patient's or this soldier's African American, their risk goes up. But I think to myself, I wonder what they eat, and I wonder what their parents ate and their grandparents. And so
Like I
on.
said,
That's
you remember when I was in Natchez, I was raised by an African American family for
Yeah.
like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I ate fucking turkey necks, fried foods.
Yeah.
Dude.
Just different.
Yeah,
just a
and
different
it's
culture.
a lot of times, different parts of the chicken or whatever, the turkey is cheaper.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it may not be as
It
healthy.
may not be as healthy, but it gets the job
Yeah.
done. You
Or
know,
Yeah,
eating
it's
the,
food.
eating the intestines of different
Right,
animals.
right.
Oh yeah, I tried that one time.
Or the
I cannot fucking eat them shit.
Or the feet. The
Or the
hooves.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dead
and like
serious.
that's a thing.
Yeah. It really is. Anyway, that's just it's an
Fatty
interesting
organs.
point. Yeah.
It is an interesting point.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to, I will say, yeah, it's kind of funny that there's a large group of people that are vegan just because of a handful of documentaries. But to me,
Yeah.
so they call them Netflix vegans.
Yep,
And
that's a
true.
good word
yeah,
for
and that's
it.
what I started as.
That's a good word.
But I dug into it as well. I mean, I wrote a
Right.
research paper, quote unquote. It's really like a research review. It's not my own research. It's already existing research. I just basically did an analysis of it. But I wrote this paper about
Pardon.
good man about a plant-based diet in the treatment of cardiovascular disease. And I was just really interested in, and there is data out there about it. But when I really started digging more and more, I mean, plant-based, I think it's a good way to go, but always in all the studies that I saw, typically if 90% or more of your diet is plant-based, then the health benefits are about the same. So you can still, like in my case, I may be taking 10 to 20% of my calories may come from meat now. It's still not a ton. It's still mostly plants, but it's still enough for me to get the health benefit of eating a bunch of plants. Does that make sense? Or does it? I don't know.
No, it does.
If you have a plant-based diet that's, like in the 80 to 90% range and above, if that percentage of your diet is plants, the health benefits aren't any different than if you were a full vegan.
Right.
So I'm saying like that whatever 10, it does skew a little towards 20, but 10-15% of your diet, if that is other than plants, so any kind of animal product, the health benefits really aren't that different. It's not like vegans are just if you eat 100% plants,
Right.
the difference in health benefits from 100% to 90 to 85 to 80, it's not a huge difference. So point being, I still think you can incorporate meat, and I do, and there's consequences to that too, though, right? For the planet. Matt just watched this documentary that I probably need to see called Seaspiracy that talks about basically how we're destroying the animal life in the ocean by overfishing and just polluting like crazy. And then, where the fuck does the water go? We drink the fucking water and we eat these polluted animals. So anyway, it goes a little deeper than that. He said that there's actually, like in certain countries, they keep essentially slaves on ships that do all this, that catch the fish. And if they don't do their job, they don't let them off the fucking boat in certain countries. I think it was Malaysia or
So
Thailand.
what do they
I think
do to the
Thailand.
fish? What is it that their job
It's their
entails?
job, just catching the fucking fish.
Yeah, they just have to catch the fish or they can't get off the boat.
Mhm. It's like pretty much you go to work and you don't meet your fucking quota, you're gonna stay till you do.
Yeah. They're
So
like, you didn't
is
catch
it?
enough fish.
Are they catching the fish because there's too many of them?
No, they're
No,
catching the fish because it's profitable because they can
profit.
sell them.
It's making somebody money.
Got you.
But
And
not the
it's
people-
like taken away from the earth, though. Correct.
Well, we are devastating the oceans by overfishing and by polluting. And apparently there's negative practices like that we do or other nations do, and there's no consequences. There's no, they just the demand for seafood is so high.
And I'll be right back.
They just can't. Jesus Christ, dude!
This cheap piece of shit.
Get
This
the
is gonna
fuck out
this
of
is
here.
gonna be bad.
Well, it is what it is, man.
I got it.
Oh my God.
I want you the fucking microphone that fits your table, man. We're still recording this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still.
Bloopers.
You piece of shit, dude.
I just wanted to fucking pee, man.
Jesus Christ. I saw you pulling on that motherfucker. I was like, he's gonna fuck it up, man. We're going to your studio next time.
I'm getting one of those fucking things I just hook on my shirt.
I'm going to your mother-in-law's studio next time.
Do it, motherfucker.
All right, Kai. So
Why don't you? I want you to stand and do the podcast with the mic up there.
you really need to. You might as well because that's your punishment. You're standing.
Oh my God, dude! You don't break the seal, dude. You know
Just
what I
set
mean?
it down.
Hold on, man. I'm about to fix this, alright?
I don't know.
All right, Kai. So going back to that.
Move my fucking mouth. Hopefully Matthew watched the whole podcast.
Oh God.
I hope he does, dude. That carnivore son of a bitch. He's missing out. You're scooting the set.
Hey, shut up now.
All right, Kai.
Gotta get her tight. She ain't tight. It ain't right. Something
All
like
right,
that.
Kai.
All right.
Let me go back to the original.
Yeah, we'll keep talking. Trey can do his thing. He can destroy
conversation.
the studio and then leave. Jesus, dude.
All right. So, what did this conversation like? What did you tell my brother whenever he asked you about?
I
this?
liked what he said to the kid, though. He's like, dude, you probably need to make some other changes before you go full vegan.
Right.
And that I don't disagree.
Right.
It's hard to make that full jump. So, I recommended what I said earlier. No fast food, fried food, junk food, processed food. Yeah, that's a good place to start. And lean meats, veggies, fruits, nuts, and beans. If you do those things on a regular basis, and I feel now, well, I guess I'll finish the thought. Then that's the way to go. That's what he needs to change first. He needs to start getting in the gym, to some degree. The ACSM, the American College of Sports Medicine, the minimum amount of exercise recommended for the average citizen is 150 minutes a week.
Which is, break that down.
30 minutes, 5 days a week.
That's what I was thinking.
It's nothing. Even better is 300 plus, and then, elite athletes probably do double that, 500, 600 minutes a week. It's a lot of exercise for that population, but 150 minutes a week is like the bare minimum to just keep your heart and lungs healthy, essentially. But it's hard, man. Most people, it feels like a fucking chore.
It does. Especially just getting into it, man, because it's so many people that have never been deal with the social anxiety of.
Well, for you, so, there's that too, because I could talk about.
How do we want to go about this?
No, I don't give a shit how we go about it. This is it's a free for all, dude. This is no one's gonna listen to it anyway. So who gives a fuck?
Well, my brother might.
Yeah, I guess he will, man.
I might send it to some of my clients so they can listen.
Okay.
As long as your boy doesn't break anything else.
Yeah, maybe he'll try not to. Dude, it's gonna fall the fuck again. Man.
Oh, 100% gonna fall again.
Yeah. Do I need to come over there and fix it, son?
No, you leave it where it is, man.
Son.
I All right, we're good.
All right, son. I'll come over there and fix it if I need to.
I'm gonna let it hit the fucking floor next time.
It is hanging on for dear fucking life, man. God damn it. Trey.
No, hey, stay right there. We got this.
All right.
We're living on the edge.
Jesus, dude. I was going to say, for you, man, your clientele is like typically, or what I think of it as, is people who have money that want to get in better shape, or, you know, they exercise in the past and they're getting back into it. I mean, do you have a lot of people just off the street saying, hey, I've never exercised before?
You would be surprised.
Yeah.
Because every new member we get that joins the club gets an email, and we have a free consultation, which I never really do because people usually reach out to me, or it's word of mouth. Hey,
You're saying you don't have to do it because they come to you.
yeah, and a lot of it's word of mouth. You know, they see their friends doing it, and I train a lot of tennis is huge there.
Yeah.
Golf is even bigger, but I don't really work with golfers. So a lot of it is word of mouth. People have friends that play tennis that, you know, their bodies start changing, and you know, they see that and they're like, okay, I want to do that. But to answer your question, I'd say 65-70% have a background in some form of exercise.
Yeah.
The other, I don't know, 25 to 30%.
It's also, man, when you're more wealthy and affluent,
Yeah.
you probably take care of yourself more. You probably
do.
you have time to.
Right.
You know, you don't have all the regular life stressors. Your schedule has a little bit of time where you can build in time for your health, and you have money for it.
You can go to the
Right.
organic
You know, the difference
section.
in training at a country club and training at, like, I guess you can say, a gym that's backed by a hospital or a commercial gym.
Yeah, the population.
The population, it's different. People do have more money, so they're not going to. They're going to go eat at you know, nicer like whenever they go out as a family. They're not going to go to the Hong Kong buffet. You know, they're going to go to a nice restaurant where they can get you know, fish. And most people do try to eat healthy. You know, others don't. Others, it's not that they don't eat healthy, but they don't eat enough. And
You're talking about people just at that place.
Yes, at this club.
Yeah.
And,
But also when you're wealthier, you tend to be more conscious of your diet as well. So
you are.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've seen that trend. And another thing is a lot of, you know, I have some that they are so busy with their job that they just don't really eat, or they eat something here and there.
Well, this is go ahead, dude.
Well, they're not getting a proper they're not getting enough, plain and simple.
This is what I want to talk about, dude. Aliens.
Really?
Back to
Yeah, I'm done with
aliens.
nutrition. Man.
Healthy aliens, or
Yeah, like aliens from.
What do you
All
think
right,
they
we
eat?
can all right,
man?
we can talk about aliens because I'm bored on that too. I talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I know that's your wheelhouse, but we try to fuck things up here. Just a
I
little
can
bit.
expand.
This is my, I guess, version of aliens. We live in a universe that's 13.1 billion years old. The Earth's 4.5 billion years old, so it's been here about a third the time of the universe. There are many star systems that were created before we were.
Right.
And there's multiple ways to tell. I guess their proximity to the center of the Big Bang, so to speak, is one. Like if they're a certain distance away, or if we can just tell that it's, you know, now a dead system, like there's a dead star. So maybe it used to be something, it's no longer. Well, do the math on the number of galaxies. They estimate it's like hundreds of billions of
We
galaxies.
can never count them all.
Yeah, and they try. They do their damnedest, but I don't think we've mapped every galaxy in the sky. I doubt it.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, there's just not enough humans to count them all. That'd be something good to look up. I don't know. That likely we haven't. And within all of the galaxies, so maybe we can identify all the galaxies, but within all those galaxies, there's hundreds of billions of stars within all these hundreds of billions of galaxies. So certainly we don't know all the stars, even if we can identify most of the major galaxies, which is still quite hard, just mathematically speaking. All of these galaxies have hundreds of billions of stars. Almost every star has multiple planets. Almost every one.
Oh.
Almost every star that exists has multiple planets. Now,
Yeah, you can't find. It says, as far as they know, there are billions.
yes. I mean, yeah, and
It's not known. No
it's-
way.
So think about if there's hundreds of billions of stars, and on average, each star has multiple planets. Let's just say 2. So, twofold the planets to the stars at a minimum, probably more than that.
Right.
I mean, we have 8 planets, right? We used to have 9, but Pluto doesn't count anymore.
That's still a planet.
It's
Fuck them.
It's a dwarf planet. It's its
yeah,
own.
fuck them.
And it doesn't follow the typical ellipsis of the other planets. That's why I think its size is a factor, but it doesn't have it actually skips positions with Neptune every so often. So it's not in a typical orbit that just kind of goes around the sun. It varies greatly, and it's really small. Anyway, that's a side point. But not only do all these stars have all these planets, but a lot of planets have moons. Most planets have moons, and not just one. Most planets have multiple moons. A lot of moons, it sounds crazy, but even in our own solar system, they are close enough to their planet that they experience something called tidal. It's like a tidal phenomenon.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it.
Basically, it is the outside of the planet is frozen just because it's so far away from the sun. But because it's so close to its planet, it basically, the gravitational pull of the planet heats the inside of the moon. And a lot of times it will have the outer layer of ice and just, oceans of water underneath it and a rocky surface at the base. So there could be livable conditions in our own solar system. We don't know. We haven't sent a probe down, that far to investigate. But saying all that, even a lot of moons are potentially habitable. So if you think about planets as being habitable, a lot of moons are too. And then you have, the ultimate habitable planets are what's called, they're in the Goldilocks zone, which we're one of them. They're close enough to their primary star that they have enough heat, but not so close that they burn up or they're, molten rock of nothing. And we're not so far away that we're an icy, wasteland.
Right.
We're somewhere in the middle. Well, moons can have that too. But even if let's if you're doing the math, let's say only 1 out of 1 billion galaxies has a livable planet. You're still, that's the way to put it.
You're dragging it out. They're fucking aliens or not, Kyle.
The odds that there is alien life elsewhere in the universe is very likely.
Yeah, 100%.
Is the point of that.
Do you think we're the only ones God created?
It depends on your view there,
Yeah.
or however we
I'm
were
just saying,
created. I know.
Wide-reaching.
Well, life in general. I don't know. It's very likely that there are aliens out there. The question is whether or not they've reached Earth. and you think yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and some people,
Elon Musk, that's a fucking alien, man.
no, he's not a fucking alien.
All right.
He's a super smart human.
He's a goddamn alien.
He's from South Africa.
He's an alien.
He's
from
the
South
richest man
Africa.
on the planet. He's worth 160
Technically, if he
something
left
billion.
South Africa and came to America, he'd be an alien.
Oh yeah. Well, in that case, I guess.
Duh.
Well, no, he's got like tri-citizenship. He's a South African citizen, a Canadian citizen, and a U.S. citizen.
Well, I guess if he went to fucking England, he's an alien.
So he's not an alien. He's a citizen. But yeah, I mean, there's been. So think about how many people have phones, right? How the fuck do we not have? If there are aliens here, and we'll talk about the military videos. That's a good topic. But how have we not had concrete evidence of aliens if everyone and their mama has a fucking smartphone? Why has there not been? Are they hiding? You know, I mean, I guess that's a view.
Maybe they're not here.
Right.
They are
Yeah,
here.
that's a reasonable answer. That's what I think. And then there's all kinds of offshoots of alien theories. One of them is this new phenomenon.
That fucking guy's name.
I can't think of it, but anyway, there's military fighter pilots, which are very reliable. This isn't Joe Schmo in the trailer park
Right.
that says an alien.
This ain't the bottom 10%.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the Google answer.
Are there aliens? What are you typing?
Do aliens exist?
It's probably going to bring up these Pentagon videos
Fake?
that we're talking about.
Do aliens pay tax? Oh, they're talking.
Jesus.
They pay taxes?
Yeah. Aliens pay taxes. Not in the U.S., they don't.
Oh, God.
But no, man.
Do
So,
aliens have belly buttons?
well, listen, man. These military fighter pilots encountered very fast-moving objects that we don't know how to describe.
Yeah, you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, and
Bob Lazar, that's what I'm trying to think
yeah.
of.
So I just think a more. Yeah, there you go.
The Pentagon still.
It's gonna have volume. Huh? They won't be able to hear it.
That's fine. We keep going. I'm
We're going to
listening.
get a copyright strike.
Yeah, it's probably gonna have a copyright thing on YouTube. Honestly.
Well, then we'll not play it.
Yeah.
I'm not playing it.
Yeah, you could.
So I don't want to fuck this up.
No,
This is
you're
going
good.
way too good.
No, it's we're fucking nowhere on YouTube's algorithm anyway, but we are getting ads on through Anchor though. We've
Really?
made-
Like the fucking crypto?
no, through not Anchor Crypto, Anchor the podcast app.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, see, I'm on crypto. I'm like, fucking
We've made
Anchor?
like 23 cents.
God damn, we made some money.
Bro,
We made 23 cents. I'm gonna cash that bitch out.
that might
make
buy
that
you
in
a
like 2
banana at
seconds.
Kroger.
They won't buy you fucking anything, dude.
No, not today.
Yeah, so
You can't even fucking
let me
get
finish
a
the thought
gumball.
on aliens. I don't think they've been here. Let's just say that. I mean, it's just there's all these, firsthand accounts of people saying they came and visited. They took me up. They probed my anus. They took my
See,
brain out.
I don't believe all that shit, but really though, I don't think I believe conspiracy theories all the time. But if you watch like the Bob Lazar documentaries, because he's a fucking scientist that worked at Area 51,
Yeah.
some of the shit he says, man, I kind of believe him.
Yeah. I mean,
About the
documentaries
fucking
are
technology
convincing.
and shit that's there.
Yeah. I believed in veganism.
And that the fucking government came after him so fucking hard after he left.
I don't know, man.
I
Have
don't
you
know.
dug into that documentary?
What's up?
It's hit and miss, man.
Yeah,
I've seen a little bit.
I don't know, man. Documentaries are compelling for a reason. That's why people watch them. I was originally a Netflix vegan. I mean, they got me on that train. I thought, what could it hurt, though? It's like I don't have a dangerous view. I'm just not going to eat meat anymore. Maybe it will be beneficial for me. But, yeah, dude.
Dude, what's the name of that fucking documentary you had? Like, I remember, I watched Joe Rogan shit.
Yeah.
But
I know.
I ain't seen the
I
documentary.
know what
yet.
you watched. I know
Yeah, you watched the same thing, didn't you?
I know what you do in your sleep.
You said bitch.
Yeah, man. I'll believe it when we have actual proof. I mean, why the fuck would they come here? I don't know.
This motherfucker like Snapchatting us.
No.
Yeah, he is.
No.
Well, let me finish this thought, dude.
I'm listening. I'm totally
Y'all
listening.
are fucking my world up.
Hey.
I'm listening.
There's two things I want to say. Have you heard of the Fermi paradox?
No.
No.
It's basically the thought that the universe has been around long enough and planets have been around long enough that there should have been a civilization more advanced than ours that has visited us. Like statistically, it should have already happened.
Motherfucker, I wouldn't want us to know that we exist.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, if I was an alien race and I saw our fucking Earth, I'd be like, we're gonna stay away from that shit.
Is it because of how
Why?
dangerous we are? We're just
We're fucking loose cannons.
advanced
man.
primates.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It's like when you saw that spider in your living room, your first instinct was like, fucking kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I saw an alien,
You'd be like, fucking kill it.
Yeah.
well, I'd be freaked the fuck out.
Well, they might.
Would you
I
try
know.
to talk to it?
I'd
Dude.
fucking kill it.
This is the deal. If there is a civilization advanced enough to reach us,
Yeah.
we're in bad shape.
Oh, we're fucked.
We're in danger. Like it's very doubtful that unless we're just a curious experiment. I mean, we do curious experiments and we keep animals in fucking zoos. You know?
Yeah.
So it's and we do animal experiments to test new shampoos and shit.
Dude, I wish I could
Like,
remember that
it's-
fucking Rick and
yeah.
Morty episode.
It's not like it you know, I like to think of humans as we are great apes. We're in the great ape family with fucking, you know, chimps, gorillas, and bonobos and orangutans, a few other great apes in there. But if you view people like that as smart apes, smart hairless apes, we're not we're not that fucking advanced. I mean, we've got some cool technology, but
we got Alienware.
just give a civilization, like let's say life started to arise around the same time that it did on Earth, and then just give them another 10,000 years ahead of us.
Oh, yeah, we're
know.
fucked.
Give them 1,000,000 years ahead of us. Yeah, like
We're super fucked.
so. It's just it's interesting to think about. Like if and maybe the answer could be that life is that fucking rare, that it's just the conditions to make life are that hard, and it doesn't happen very often. But this is another thought too. I said this before. Have you heard the term observable universe? The observable universe is the universe that we can see, meaning light has had enough time to reach the edge of it.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond the universe, likely, we don't know, but likely it's more universe that light hasn't reached yet. So there could be shit that we don't even see within this own, you know, within the hundreds of billions of galaxies and hundreds of billions of stars and star systems and planets and moons. All of this that we have in the quote unquote observable universe that's about 90 billion light years across and has been exponentially expanding since the Big Bang 13.1 billion years ago. Likely there's more universe on the outside of that, and there could be even more of that thing. And then there's what's called the multiverse theory.
Ooh, like Spider-Man?
Sure. But it's basically the idea, and we can't test it. It's the loose term for a theory. We likely won't be able to test it because we can only experiment on, you know, what we can see and what exists in our own universe, and even there's things that are so far away we will never reach them. So beyond that, I mean, you're talking about it's all hypothetical, but the multiverse theory is the idea that for our universe, there are an infinite number of universes just like it. And there's an infinite version of this reality going on simultaneously where I'm sitting in your chair and you're sitting in mine, and I have brown eyes and you have fucking blue eyes, and you know, and Trey's not an asshole in that. There's no universe.
I can't help the way I was born.
I'm kidding. But anyway, yeah, that's the multiverse theory, and it sounds crazy, but based on quantum mechanics, which quantum mechanics is the oh man, Trey's over there. Jesus.
I'm playing my Candy Crush.
Playing your games, man. Playing your games.
Candy
Your
Crush.
fuck games. Yeah. I lost that fucking thought. Yeah. Jesus.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Carry on.
Quantum mechanics is the description of the very small. So you know what an atom is? Quantum mechanics describes particles smaller than atoms. So the subatomic particles, electron, proton, neutrons, there's things even smaller than them. Quarks, gluons, haptons, the Higgs boson particle. Yeah, there's things that it's quantum mechanics describes how subatomic particles behave at that level, and they behave quite crazy. But based on how they behave, like there's certain things we observe, such as when we measure light, which light travels in photons, and when you measure a photon, it either results in I'm fucking this up. The point of what I'm saying is with quantum mechanics, the observer measuring the way a photon moves. So a particle of light, all these lights in here, these fucking light bulbs, they're emitting photons that are hitting the retinas of our eyes. That's how we're able to see the light. When we observe it in an experimental setting and we measure how it moves, it changes depending on how we measure it or who's measuring it. Like, it's not a predictable measurement. It depends on, like, if I measure it and you measure it, we're going to have two different answers. So it's not a predictable. It's not predictable at that level. A lot of things in quantum mechanics are predictable, and it's leading to more innovation in even common shit, cell phones, computers, etc. Trey, are you masturbating now?
Playing my game, man. Candy Crush.
All right. Well, you are crushing over there.
I am crushing.
Anyway, saying all.
I know what you're saying.
There's a theory of a
Call it
multiverse.
Quantifications.
No.
What is
Quantum mechanics.
quantum mechanics?
The multiverse theory is based off quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics, when we measure certain things at a quantum level, weird shit happens. And based off that weird shit happening, for whatever reason, they predict there's likely the same shit happening. The reason that we're getting different measurements is because they're all happening simultaneously. Like the reason the measurement keeps getting fucked up is because every possible thing is happening at the same time. So it's not just one thing you see. So that leads to the description of the universe as a multiverse, where if it's happening at this level, maybe it's happening at a macro scale, the biggest scale, and all things are happening at once.
But we can't really measure.
But you can't prove it. Yeah.
Got you.
It's interesting to think about. And mathematically, a quantum physicist could probably describe it much better, and they would have a much more intuitive sense of why, like, that small scale craziness leads to the big scale, or why they think that, what happens here leads to, everything happening at once. It seems like a stretch, but they could obviously explain it better than I can.
So what about the aliens, man?
Yeah, so They definitely exist based on statistics,
Yeah.
but they haven't been here yet.
That's good shit.
I was getting lost for a second. I was like, stars are cool and everything, but we're fucking talking about some aliens.
Man, no, dude, you got to dig into these topics. Sometimes I get lost in my own
Hey,
fucking
we're
thoughts.
all, me and the viewers, we're all a bunch of fucking simpletons, man.
That's not
Yeah,
true.
well,
dude.
I am.
Yes.
I know
I am too.
But I did learn. No, I seriously learned.
Certain things, yeah. There's some things that I've thought about a little bit, but I'm not an astronomer.
You've
not
done your research, though, because I've never even heard of a fucking
What do you
photonewton.
think this motherfucker does all
a
night?
photon, dude.
It just sits here and jerks off to newtons or whatever.
Photon, dude. Photons of
Photon, my
light.
bad.
We
Is
talked
it
about
photon
this-
with a P?
Yeah, pH.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought, bitch.
Yeah, there you go, dude. You know how to spell now.
Yeah.
I've talked about this with Parker last episode.
Oh, God.
What are you fucking dropping over?
Nothing. Shut the fuck up. It's nothing, man. Why are you looking down there? Get out my fucking business.
Jesus Christ, dude.
This is my side of the room.
Can't take you anywhere, dude.
Where's my fucking podcast studio? Over here.
Yeah, I want to give you this fact, and we'll fucking wrap this thing up. I told this to Parker last episode. I don't know if I've described it to you. I just want to see how you react to it. But light travels at a certain speed, right? You've heard the
Speed
term
of light.
You've heard the term light speed.
Yes.
Okay. Well, light travels. We looked it up last episode, but I knew roundabout. It travels at 186,000 miles per second. That's
Star
how
Trek
fast.
speed.
That's how fast photons move from a light source to your fucking eye, and that's how fast they travel across the universe. For instance, I fucked this up last episode. This is a good time to correct it. The sun is about 100 times further away than the moon. I said 10 times. I think that's right. It takes
100.
it takes the light from the sun 8 minutes to reach us. It takes the light from the moon 8 seconds to, and the light from the moon is just the reflection of the sun.
Like we're
anyway.
seeing back in time when we look at the shit.
Actually, no. When I do that math, it doesn't even add up. I mean, it would have to be. It's not 100 times. It's 8 minutes divided by 8 seconds. So what is 8 minutes? 8 times 60. What is that? 480 seconds divided by 8. What's 480 divided by 8?
I don't know. You're so good at math. Tell me.
480 divided by 8 is it's
80.
definitely not 100. It's do the math. What's 480 divided by 8?
Use our smartphones.
Yeah.
What's the answer, dude?
60.
60? So the
He's
sun,
right. It's 60.
yeah.
Yeah, my smartphone's right.
So the sun is 60 times further away than the moon. Anyway, regardless, it takes the light about 8 minutes from the sun to reach us at the speed of light. So the sun is a giant nuclear reactor basically in the sky where hydrogen atoms separate, and basically there's nuclear bombs going off all the time, and that's what a star is. It's just nuclear bomb after nuclear bomb after nuclear bomb.
That's what gives you.
There's so
sun
much
cancer,
there's so much
melanoma.
gravity. There's so much gravity and so much pressure that it literally takes hydrogen atoms and fucking splits them, and that's all it is, over and over and over. The sun is just a bunch of nuclear bombs going off over and over and over and over.
Did you ever see where like Superman got Wonder Woman's sword? And her sword's so sharp it could split an atom, and it made like a nuclear explosion. Let me cut out. You know what the fuck I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about. What was it on? Is this in a comic book?
my
DC
God.
Comics, buddy.
All right, that's what I thought. But anyway,
What's the question?
so that's what the sun is, right? So it takes, and the photons start at the center of the star, and it takes them years to reach the surface. Maybe a lot of years.
How many years?
Let's find out.
Google it. Look, Jamie, check your look that up for me.
I want to figure this out, and then let me just finish this thought experiment, and then we'll move on. How long photon from center of sun to surface? There it is.
Anybody else gonna drink anything? Am I gonna be the only drunk asshole over here?
Now listen to this, dude. It can take a photon 100,000 years from the core of the sun to get to the surface. So everyone that reaches us after 8 minutes, that is so fucking stupid. That's crazy. But once it gets out of the sun, it's basically going like it has to fight to get to the surface. It's not a straight path. It's fighting other nuclear explosions. I don't know. It weasels its way to the fucking surface. It takes 100,000 years for the atom at the center of the star to reach the outside. It's insane. Anyway, it reaches us in 8 minutes. If you need to know, it's about 300,000 kilometers per second.
Disregard.
Jesus Christ, man. And the light from the moon is 8 seconds. So think about this. From the Big Bang, light and matter and everything that exists has been expanding exponentially. It means it's getting faster and faster every day, every second. And it's gone so far that it's now, the universe is now about 90 million light years across, okay? So if you think about a star in the sky, think about a random star, the light, however far that star away is from us, the light takes that long to reach us. So if a star is 100 light years away, it took the light 100 years to reach us. So when you look in the sky at the stars, you're seeing a past image of the star.
That's fucking.
It is. On side note, since we're supposed to be talking about aliens, I Googled Area 51, and my top story is Trump turning Arizona into the Area 51 of politics. That was 2 days ago. Am I going to read the article? I'm going to
finish that. Come closer to the mic, dude, so I can get your face is not in it. But what's he doing with Area 51? Finish that.
He said Trump is turning Arizona into the Area 51 of politics.
Oh, okay.
Trump train, baby, coming back.
Yeah, ride that Trump train, dude.
God, he's a fucking idiot.
Listen, dude, check this out. So, you're seeing the past image of the star, right?
Yeah.
So, if it's 1,000 years away, 1,000 light years away, it took the light that long to reach us. So you're seeing it 1,000 years ago. So if it's 1,000 light years away, or let's say it's 2,000, you're seeing a star from the time of Jesus,
Oh.
when Jesus was 21. Because he's born in the year 0, right? So
you admit that that's a real person.
Hell yeah, Jesus is so let's not get on a fucking religious thing.
Oh, please, no.
Look, dude.
No.
Think about this, though.
Cornflakes.
Don't.
Let me give you one more analogy, and then we'll wrap this motherfucker up, or Trey can do whatever else he wants to do. But let's say you took a giant space mirror, right?
Yeah.
And put it 65 million years away from the Earth.
You should have been a fucking astronaut.
Stay with me, dude. Take a giant space mirror, and magically it appears 65 million years ago. Do you know what we would see in the reflection of the mirror?
The sun. I mean, the Earth.
But it'd be the Earth 65 million years ago. We would see dinosaurs in the mirror.
All right. Let's get away from this nerdy bullshit. All right, this is for the viewers.
You see what I'm saying?
Everybody, take the time to Google why cornflakes were invented.
All right, y'all wrap this up. I gotta.
All right.
Hey. Google why cornflakes were invented. I want to hear your reaction.
Look at the camera, dude.
On the
Look
fucking
at the camera, Eddie. That camera.
What's up?
The camera, yeah.
The
so
camera.
We get a good picture of your face.
All right.
Yeah, he's
All
gonna
right,
make a
dude.
thumbnail.
I always sign out by saying OA for life.
Catch you in the wind.
Oh.
Yeah, catch you in a win, player.
All right. See you guys.
All right, dude. OA for life.
OA
man.
for
Away for life,
There's
baby.
something in there that was good.